Shutter speed values have a few important effects on how your image will appear. When you use a long shutter speed, which is commonly referred to as a slow shutter speed, you end up exposing your sensor for a significant period of time. The first big effect of it is motion blur. If your shutter speed is long, moving subjects in your photo will appear blurred along the direction of motion. This effect is used quite often in advertisements of cars and motorbikes, where a sense of speed and motion is communicated to the viewer by intentionally blurring the moving wheels. To achieve this type of natural motion blur, you'll want to film at 1/50 shutter speed. An easy example to really dumb down what a slow shutter speed looks like, right now, I want you to wave your hand about a foot away from your face and start waving it side to side. Notice that there's a motion blur while moving your hand. Now look back at your screen and notice how my hand is also naturally blurry when waving it in front of my face. Now that is because I'm filming this video in 1/50 shutter speed. On the other hand, shutter speed can also be used to do the opposite, which includes freeze motion or remove natural motion blur that the human eye is used to seeing. If you use a fast shutter speed, you can eliminate motion blur from fast moving objects like birds in flight or cars driving past. If you use a fast shutter speed while taking pictures of water, each droplet will hang in the air completely sharp, which might not even be visible to our own eyes. An example of fast shutter speeds could be 1/800 or even as extreme as 1/8000. Now when it comes to music videos, the highest shutter speed I will film at will be 1/800 for when I use a green screen or when I want a more upbeat looking performance scene when filming an artist handheld, which I will film at either 1/200 or even sometimes 1/400 in 24 FPS. You may be wondering, when do I know what shutter speed value to set my camera to for a scene? It's actually quite simple if you follow the shutter speed value rules. Shutter speed values have direct correlation to the frame rate in which you are filming in. If you film a scene in 24 FPS, you want to double your shutter speed value from your frame rate value. 24 multiplied by 2 equals 48. So you would set your shutter speed to 1/48. However, DSLR and mirrorless cameras, you will have to round from 1/48 to 1/50. This is because 1/50 is the closest rounded number from 1/48. Set your shutter speed to 1/50. Let's try a few more frame rate to shutter speed correlations so you can leave them knowing the ins and outs of basic shutter speed knowledge. Let's say you want to film a scene in 60 FPS slow motion. 60 multiplied by 2 equals 120. The closest rounded number to 120 on our camera shutter speed table is 125. So set your shutter speed to 1/125 when filming in 60 FPS. Now if you want to film super slow motion at 120 FPS, you want your shutter speed value to be set at, again, 120 multiplied by 2 equals 240. And the closest rounded number from 240 is 250. So once again, set your camera to 1/250 when filming your 120 FPS clips. If you set the shutter speed value to say 1/160 when filming in 60 FPS or 1/320 when filming in 120 FPS, you will start to lose the cinematic feel of your video. So to properly set your shutter speed values to keep your shots looking cinematic, you want to keep doubling your shutter speed. For example, when filming in 24 FPS, you will start at 1/50 shutter. Doubling this will get you to 1/100. Doubling that will get you to 1/200, then 1/400, 1/800, 1/1600, so on and so forth. Another example would be filming in 60 FPS. You would start at 1/125 shutter speed. Doubling that will take you to 1/250. Doubling that will take you to 1/500, so on and so forth. A question you may ask is, can I break these rules or do I have to film at these specific shutter speed values? The answer is technically no, but technically yes. By this, I mean once you learn the rules first, then we can start to break them. If you film in 24 FPS but set your shutter speed to 1/15, you will notice that your footage looks very choppy as if something is wrong. This is not to say that filmmakers, including myself, haven't done this for a different creative look. However, filming at a shutter speed value of 1/5, 1/15, 1/20 will not be able to keep up with the frame rate of 24 FPS. So again, the footage will look choppy. Again, once we learn the basic rules of how shutter speed works, we can either keep doubling our shutter speed to eliminate motion blur for a specific look, or speed the shutter speed up to, for example, 1/15, to which you will get a cool trippy looking shot.